The Black Gold Nation presents From the Grassroots, a Project 2025 from the community's perspective. If you understand nothing else, please understand that everything that happens on purpose. It is not by accident. It is 100% intentional.
Every system is perfectly designed to get the results it achieves. That's what we have to appreciate. These systems, if people say, well, how do we fix them? They're not broken. They're designed to produce exactly what you see. Mm-hmm. There's no fixing them. There really isn't, because they're perfectly designed. We need new systems, right? These systems, as they're set up, are designed to do exactly what they're supposed to do. Women have a certain position, people of color have a certain position, white people have a certain position. When you look at law enforcement, I can't tell you how many people have said to me, how do we fix it, Joy? How do we fix it? I said, you can't fix it. You know that policing, for example, in America, it came from slave patrols. Right. So the actual where it was derived was terrorism. They were terrorizing enslaved people that had been freed for fear that there was going to be a revolt. It never happened. You realize that they still punish us over this notion of fear of what we're going to do, because and that's their pathology. I mean, that really is their pathology. But if it actually came from slave patrols, what makes you think it's there to protect you? It's not designed to protect you. It may occasionally, but that's not what it's designed to do.
As our focus is 100% on the grassroots, and I'm sure you guys have probably heard that term before, let's make sure that we're on the same page per the definition of what grassroots is. Quote, the ordinary people in a society, typically those at the bottom or the lowest rungs of society. Most certainly, this is the majority of Black and brown communities. So what is Project 2025?
Project 2025, the Conservative Leadership Mandate, is literally a 900-page document that details the plan for the first 180 days of a conservative presidency. Well, actually, Project 2025 is way more than just a document. It's an extremely organized, built-out strategy based on 4 pillars. Pillar number 1 is this. This book is called A Policy Agenda. Mandate for Leadership, the Conservative Promise. Think of this as the Policy Bible. I did not come up with that name. The entire book's sole purpose is reshaping federal policy and shifting societal norms in America to align almost exclusively with conservative values. Pillar number 2 is a personnel database where conservative scholars, academics, and policy experts are being compiled. Think about this pillar like a conservative-only LinkedIn. The authors of this policy set a goal to have at least 20,000 recruits already built into the personnel database, as a way to have a readily available pool of ideologically aligned people to pull from when it comes to filling all of the positions that they plan to create, fill, or vacate when taking the reins of the government. Again, these are their words, not mine. And they're doing this as a way to streamline the confirmation process. Make sure that there are 0 hiccups. Pillar number 3 is their Presidential Administration Academy. It's an online educational system of training programs specifically for those potential employees under the role of a conservative president. Again, the goal here is speed. They want the ability to just plug and play. Pillar number 4 outlines the transition plans in a 180-day playbook. The 180-day playbook is driven by the policy agenda itself. And so if the policy agenda is the guidebook, then think of the 180-day playbook as the roadmap. These 4 pillars together are what makes up Project 2025. Okay, thank you. Now I know what Project 2025 means, Deja, but why should I even care about this? What does the conservative promise even mean? Why are you bringing this up? Well, my curious friend, I'm glad you asked. The average age of an empire is 250 years. Can you guess where we are on the calendar?
248
It's okay.
years.
Pause this video for a second and do some math from 1776. And then I want you to do with that information what you will. I've been reading this book for the past 3 months, and it's made me realize something interesting, and it's that there are 3 major factions in this space: conservatives, Republicans, and the Christian right. That's who we need to watch for. I know I'm telling them. That's who we need to be afraid of. They are all different, and it's important to note that they don't always agree, but for the most part.
For more information about Project 2025 and to continue watching that video, you can find it on our website at grow, GROW, the number 4care, CARE.org, grow4care.org. The sister said the Christian right, that's who we need to be watching for, and that's who we need to be afraid of. Who is the Christian right?
Make no mistake about it. We are talking about Christianizing America. We are talking about spreading the gospel in a political context.
We should not be taking orders by the government. The government needs to be looking at the church and saying, how do we do this effectively?
Christian nationalism, and has nothing to do with Christianity. It's man saying, this is God's law and administering it for the purposes of achieving absolute political power. And the societies that practice it are the most evil places on earth.
It is not new. Those who want to take religion and use it to justify all kinds of evils.
The big idea of Christian nationalism is that God made America a particular kind of white Christian. That group is supreme in this nation. Everyone else need to be kept subordinate with violence if necessary.
Jews will not replace us!
I don't want everybody to vote. Elections are not won by a majority of people. They never have been from the beginning of our country, and they are not now.
I think it's absolutely clear that this movement created Donald Trump.
It's not because they identify with him and feel that he's one of them. It's because he can be an instrument, the wrecking ball that they use to bring down the federal government that they have so many problems with.
The courts aren't going to decide who the next president of the United States is going to be. We the people decide.
The Bible's about to get really real. The leftists are coming. They're already here.
There's an intensity right now, and yes, I am very concerned that this is going to end up in a civil war.
We have to take a stand against this, and we have to defeat it.
There is no more gray area. You're on the side of Jesus Christ, or you're on the side of the devil.
You God-hating communist America, you'll find out what an insurrection is, because we ain't playing your garbage. We ain't playing your mess.
Mainstream Christians feel completely legitimate, indeed could feel righteous in trying to overthrow their government.
You don't have a radicalized Republican Party without the evangelical church.
The ruling is a win for the Christian right's influence on the court and in politics.
We're gonna have a new country, and you are gonna become a Christian. Fuck democracy. I stand with Jesus Christ.
We need to be the party of nationalism, and I'm a Christian and I say it proudly. We should be Christian nationalists.
And reality is, the Republican Party is more extreme, more dangerous, and more committed to the autocratic project of gaining power right now than it was on January 6th of 2021. And this has to be confronted, and there is no issue that supersedes it.
Pay attention to our website, grow4care.org, because we're going to do a citywide Black church, Black organization tour showing this documentary and diving a bit deeper, because Black people absolutely need to understand what this thing is about, how it will affect us, how it ties into Project 2025, and what we need to be doing as a community moving forward. Please understand that their version of Christianity is not your version of Christianity. Everything that we've been through since we were brought here, since we were kidnapped 400 plus years ago, has been done under the banner of Christianity. Every single thing. If you were to add up all the years of everything that we've been through since we've been here, it would be over 2,600 years of stuff, 2,000 plus years back to back to back to back, and 2,600 total. And we haven't received therapy one for any of it. The left column is history. The right column primarily is current events, meaning what? That is still going on. All of this done by people, for the most part, who consider themselves to be Christian. So please understand that their version of Christianity is not the version of Christianity that you probably are, were raised under, or that you understand. What they're trying to do when they say Christianize, quote unquote, Christianize America, trust me, that is not a good thing for melanated people, black, brown, or otherwise. Black, brown, and poor. And those are more certainly, as I said initially, the grassroots. So we have to understand who these people are, what they believe, what they do, how they do it, so that we can create our own version of what they have, so that we can not only push back against it, but mobilize and organize ourselves to ensure, because these things that they do will never stop. Project 2025 is the 5th version, not the first, so they never stop. They upgrade their plans, and we have to make sure that as they are updating their plans, their strategies, their goals for more power, more control, more money, we have to in turn do the exact same thing. If we had our own version of Project 2025, then their version wouldn't be so scary. Why? Because we'd be able to meet their power head on, because we would have our own power. Project 2025 will, and this is simply a high level understanding of what this thing is about. As Brother Ron, the the representative said yesterday at TSU, he gave very, very, very good factual bullet points. I'm simply adding 2. This is a 900-page document, as the sister showed. So this, of course, is not everything. We will get to how you can learn more later. This is simply a high level of some of the things that they want to do. Project 2025 will eliminate and or relocate the jobs of over 50,000 federal employees. That's critically important, because the things that Trump wanted to do the first time around, he was stopped by persons who work for the government because they were able to say to him, that is illegal, that's against the system, that's not the rules, it's not the regulations, you cannot do that. So what they want to do is get those persons out of the way by either firing them as they reclassify them from Schedule F employees to something, Schedule F federal employees to something else, or simply relocate their jobs. And the places geographically that they want to relocate those jobs to is where a large majority of the January 6th participants, those persons who were trying to overthrow the government and undo the election, this is the part of the country where they live. So they want to eliminate and or relocate those jobs so that Trump doesn't have those barriers anymore, because of course those persons would be loyal to Trump and not the country. Project 2025 will reverse over 100 years of anti-discrimination progress, all the progress that we've made as Black people, African Americans, melanated African descendants over the past 100 years are going to be reversed. We can see that already with the reversal of affirmative action. We can see that with the Roe versus Wade abortion being made illegal. More and more of that sort of thing is going to continue to happen as they continue to get what they're organizing to get. It will eliminate the Department of Education and redirect billions from the public school system, which is where the majority of our children go, to private and nonprofit educational systems. It would eliminate billions from federal food programs for the young, elderly, and poor. So if you know anybody on government assistance, AFDC, WIC, any sort of insurance program, any sort of a decreased monthly billing program because they get assistance from the government, anything that people get from the federal government, they want to eliminate billions from those programs, which of course is going to affect the lives of hundreds of millions of people. They want to impose additional work requirements for Medicaid recipients. They want to criminalize abortion, including the abortion pill. I heard a very, very sharp, bright young sister say yesterday that a lot of people take the abortion pill not simply for to prevent an abortion or to get an abortion, but for other health reasons. They want to make it illegal across the board, period, for you to take this pill, no matter what your reasons for taking that pill might be. They want to revoke LGBTQ protections and criminalizing discussions. They don't want you even talking about it, LGBTQ issues. And before you say, well, I'm not in that category, that group, it doesn't affect me. Trust me when I say you are next. They want to reverse student debt relief. Biden was able to forgive a lot of student loan debts, where they want to reverse that so that those student loan debts are now go back to the person who has the debt and they have to pay it. They want to reclassify over 500,000 dreamers to have an illegal status. A dreamer is a person who was brought here to the U.S. illegally by their parents, to no fault of their own. They were born here, and they're now considered to be quote unquote dreamers. They want to reclassify those persons as illegal, and then either ship them back to whatever country they came from, or, which is more likely, put them in a prison system, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry whereby private entities are making money off of this free labor. And that's another conversation we can have at another time. They want to abolish affirmative action, which they've already begun to do, and prosecute institutions with any sort of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion program. They want to gut environmental regulations and clean energy initiatives. Anything that's going to help with climate change, they want to make illegal and totally get those things out of U.S. regulations. They want to censor the internet and criminalize pornography. They want to deploy the military for domestic law enforcement and illegal immigration roundup. So that's where that dreamer to illegal status comes in. They want to create a wider gap between the haves and the have-nots. And they want to make it impossible for that gap to ever be closed. America is moving toward a caste system whereby if you are born poor, you're going to die poor, because the opportunities not to be poor are simply not going to be there. And again, as we just saw, they want to Christianize, quote unquote, Christianize America. Their goal is to create total chaos, and out of that, more control. But what we have to understand is that in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. But that opportunity will never be able to be taken advantage of if we're not ready, if we're not mobilized, if we're not organized to take advantage of that opportunity. Inside that chaos, then we're not only going to lose, but this will be the last opportunity we have to lose, because after this, there will be nothing that we can do to reverse what's been done moving forward. This is very, very, very critical that we understand where we stand right now, not only in the history of humanity on this planet, but in our history in this country. The chaos that they want to create on purpose, we can't stop that because it's too far along. We can't stop Project 2025, because even if we vote as we should vote to slow this thing down and ensure that Donald Trump does not win, they simply update their plans for the next presidential election, because they do this every 4 years. This is not the first version of Project 2025. This is the fifth, with a 5, fifth. Ronald Reagan in 1981 was the first version. And again, before that, it was simply called something else. So we have to understand that if we're going to make sure that we are not only able to take advantage of the chaos that they want to create on purpose, we have to make sure and understand that we have to be ready, willing, and able to mobilize, organize, and build power for ourselves and our communities moving forward. The grassroots must lead. We must continually seek to enhance the power position of our community by creating a nation within this nation, coupled with a master plan to forever expand upon their power position forever.
I think black people and black Christian nationalism says we have to approach the whole problem in terms of power. Black people have to begin to build institutions. Every institution that exists belongs to white people, was built by white people, and serves the interests of white people. And for black organizational leaders to be sitting there talking as though they have power, as though they represent something. We want to represent everybody, we want to bring everybody together, we want to build a beautiful America. We don't want to build no kind of beautiful America. We want power for black people, and we want to fight for it. It's demand confrontation and the willingness to do everything necessary to get power. And we got to take it away from white people. White people are not going to give black people anything. Politically, economically, or any other way, black man is no longer necessary in America. And the white man is hell-bent on genocide. So we have to understand we've got the will and power to deal with the white man moving society to destroy.
We have to be ready, willing, and able to do this, as we must build power for eternity. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. I sincerely appreciate it. Please get with the person that invited you here they will most certainly have the next steps ready for you, laid out, and we can simply go from there. Again, if you understand nothing else from this presentation, if you have no other takeaway, please understand that everything that happens to us, against us, happens on purpose. It is by design that the system works the way that it works, which is not to our betterment, not for our benefit, but to our detriment. And that is on purpose. Thank you very much. God bless you. Always remember two things. No one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And absolutely, always, always, always remember that nothing is more sacred than the empowerment and freedom of Black people, because if Black people don't make it, you're not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. Our children won't make it. Our loved ones and or our family will not make it. But if we put the group first, if we put the tribe first, if we build for the nation first, then the nation will have power to protect us and everyone attached to us. And we can push back against any threat that we are facing as a people, because we're not attacked as individuals. We are attacked as a part of a group. We are attacked as a people. Thank you very much. God bless you. Have a great day.